guys, welcome to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. So starting with this week's weekly events, we will start with today's event. So today we have Day of the Dead. This is a short little event that runs for 2 days. So the final day will be November 3rd. Day of the Dead is a pretty minor event, but I've always really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna tell you what there is to do for it. So one big thing, if you've never done this event, is the pet. The marionette pet that I am showing you on screen here. This is one of my favorite pets. I've had it alongside of me in multiple videos that I've done, and I would say if you don't have this pet, you should definitely go get it. Great pet, and is actually used in some of the pet battles. And the way to do it is there's one and only one quest that you get during this event, and it's called the Grateful Dead. So basically, to get this quest, originally it was that you go to your race's home city. Then they added Shat City and Dalaran into the picture, and also you can get it in the Legion Dalaran as well. So there's many places you can go. I'm just going to say Legion Dalaran. That's a good place to just direct you guys. So Legion Dalaran, it's right by the cemetery. So pretty easy to find. There's also these Day of the Dead costumes that are part of it. They're contender costumes, and you can get all 5. They can be purchased with gold, so getting stuff from this event is super easy. You're not farming some random currency that you're never gonna use again for another year. It's just gold. And there's some achievements that go with these costumes. So To the Afterlife is where you defeat a contender while wearing the outfit purchased during Day of the Dead. And then Vientos is basically the same achievement, except you're defeating 20 contenders. And then Calavera is the same achievement, except you're defeating 50 contenders. And one cool thing to note with this is the major thing you gotta do is just purchase the outfits. If you have those purchased, you can actually do these achievements outside of Day of the Dead. You just really need to have those outfits purchased, but they are able to be used throughout the entire year. So there is also some cosmetics. There is the orange marigolds and the skull mask, so you can get those as well. Cooking has a recipe you can get from this event as well. It's called the Bread of the Dead, which I always like the name of that. And that is basically it. So not too much going on with it, but it's got some good stuff if you've never done the event before. Next up, we have Torghast will be this week, Beast of Protagum. I'm just going to screenshot it, and you can just pause the screen and read through it if you're interested in that event. The weekly will be World Quest, so really nice and easy. A good one to have for patch week so that you can, focus the patch content. And the PvP Brawl will be Comp Stomp. And of course we have Dark Moon Fair that is in effect right now, and it will go on till Saturday. It usually ends around midnight. So Saturday late night, Sunday morning. And of course the last final thing we've got going on this week is the patch, which will release tomorrow. Maintenance will happen, so servers will be down from 7 p.m. to 3 p.m. for US. I'm not totally sure the time frame for EU, since I don't play on EU, but those are the times for US. For goals and accomplishments, I haven't really made goals lately because I've been in Animal Crossing, for a while now, but because of the patch releasing Tuesday, I decided to hop in and catch up a bit this past weekend. And didn't take long at all. To be perfectly honest, I say this past weekend, but it took me 5 hours maybe. Maybe not even that long. I don't think I was in there very long. to catch up. So I got my renown from 73 to 80, so I do have renown 80 now. And I did also upgrade my Anima Conductor. I had it at rank 2, so I quickly threw it into the upgrade for rank 3. It's done now. I did this on Saturday, so it was done on Sunday. I have pretty much gone over a lot of the patch stuff with you guys. Every week I tell you more and more on what's going on in the patch. I've done a prep video just the other day for it, and I also did a full-blown patch for last week's WoW Weekly, so I'm gonna leave out the major details, and I'll just link those videos if you want to, find out more info on the patch. But for this week, I'm just gonna tell you things that I haven't told you in the past couple of weeks in the WoW Weekly. So they are some minor details with the patch, but they're pretty cool. I think you will be interested in. The first one I wanted to go over is pet battles. I was really excited about this one, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. Pet battles are getting a pretty big boost. So basically, your flawless and your family specific stones, they're now going to give you like a flat 2,000 experience. The Fell Touch battle stones, they're going to now give you a flat 10,000 experience. The ultimate battle training stones that you see on screen here, in current right now, it costs 60 pet charms to get it. When the patch goes live, you are going to see that cost go from 60 to 35. So definitely don't buy any of those. You can get like 2 for pretty much the amount you would buy it. Well, a little more, but you know what I mean. So that is awesome. Battling the wild pets with like a comparable leveled team is gonna give you double experience. Pets on your team are eligible for this bonus if no pet on your team is more than 2 levels higher than any pet. So definitely they gotta be close together. And the experience penalty for a pet dying has been reduced to 50%. It was 100% before. So pets still need to be active for at least 1 round to be eligible to earn experience from battle. All of the pet experience earned in battles is going to be increased by 50%. And to compensate this, the pet battle bonus event buff, the sign of the critter, it's been reduced to 100%. It was 200%. The next thing I wanted to go over is professions. So there are some changes with the professions. The mining ore drop rates for all zones is increased by 20%, and the callous hide and heavy callous hide drop rate is increased by 20%. The jewel crafting essence drop rate increased by 10%, and lightless silk drop rate has been increased by 20%. Another thing to note as well is Runecarving. So the Runecarver is now going to offer to destroy an existing legendary item and return all your soul ash or soul cinders that you spent to create it. And the drop rate of all the Runecarving recipes in dungeons has been increased to 100% for all difficulties. Threads of Fate. Talinara is now going to offer a Torghast daily quest for experience and soul ash. Talinara also offers a PvP Battlegrounds daily quest for experience and gear. The Thread of Fate bonus objectives are going to be shorter and award renown. And the Threads of Fate zone objectives are now going to reward higher item level, gear, and some anima. The WoW Companion app, for those that use it, it will now have the WoD missions on there, so you'll be able to do the garrison and command table from your Companion app. And you can view follower info, and you can equip follower items from the app as well. Out in Korthia, the archivist, he is gonna provide like an Anima diverter is what it's called, and you're gonna be able to drop your Anima directly in there, so you don't have to like travel all over the place to drop all your different currencies off. There's also gonna be the additional fast travel options at Venari's Refuge, to Perdition Hold and Desmatarian. In Korthia, there's going to be a new weekly quest. It's called Lost Research, and it's available to characters that are at least a tier 4 or alts with a tier 4 character on the account. And this quest will take players into the Korthian Rift, and it rewards a large amount of Archivist Codex rep and cataloged research. And also the enemies that are in the rifts, they now drop stolen relic fragments and also a chance at some relics. One other thing is boot transmogs. You might remember quite a while back I showcased some boots on one of my past WoW weeklies. They are technically in this patch, but they are part of Trial of Style. So we won't see them until Trial of Style comes back. And there is also going to be that transmog outfit thing that you can link to chat or you can share it offline. So that will be available in this patch as well. Also, in Legion, the Breaching the Tomb achievement has changed. So this is a great change because back when I did it, here's my achievement right here. When I did it, you had to do it on every single character. For those that don't know, Breaching the Tomb is an achievement that is required in order to do your class mounts in Legion. And there were 12 of them, so you pretty much had to do this achievement 12 times so that you could ignite the quest for each one of your other classes. And that was very time consuming, and it sucked to do that on all 12. And so now what they're doing is you do it once and it's account bound the way it should have been back then, but it is now, finally. And one thing worth noting that maybe some of you guys don't know, because I didn't actually know until I did it, but once you get all of your class mounts, you unlock a feat of strength. This is the achievement right here. So this is a feat of strength that you get. It's worth no points. None of the feat of strengths are. But it's cool nonetheless. I like having feat of strength. So if you're wondering if there's, an extra reward for getting all 12, there is that. And you're going to save hours of work with you not having to do Breaching the Tomb 12 times. Some Island Expedition and Warfront info. So for Island Expeditions, you can solo that now, or you can still go with 3 players if you wanted. So that is for normal, heroic, and mythic. PvP would stay the same. And then one very interesting one that I thought was cool is the Warfronts for Battle for Stromgarde and Battle for Darkshore. They have changed the amount of people you need for that. So it was 15 to be able to go in there. And now it's 5. So you only need 5 people in order to do that, which is nice. And it'll be really nice for the one reason only that I need to go back in there. And it's because in current, I was going after, I can't remember what it's called, but it was out in Darkshore. And you had a very small chance of getting this buff that had you glowing green, and then you would trade it in for an item. And the achievement was to get 3 different items that way. And I'd gotten 2 out of 3, and then I just got so sick of doing Darkshore, and I just kind of stopped. But I was focusing it really hard for a long time. I was doing Darkshore when I didn't even need Darkshore. So Having it go to 5 might make that a little bit easier to get, and I only need 1 more. So I'm, I won't say I'm like super hyped for that, but I'm happy. I'm happy that I don't need 15 people, As far as Legion Legacy raids, there's going to be some fights that are a little easier to do now. Those fights would be, Antorus, the Antoran High Command, Eonar, Varamithraz, Shavara, and Agrimar. They are going to be easier to solo now. In Tomb of Sargeras, the Desolist Host, Fallen Avatar, and Kil'jaeden will be easier to solo. In Nighthold, Gul'dan will be easier, and in Trial of Valor, Helya will be easier. And there's also been legacy loot rules in place for BFA raids and dungeons. So when you run those now, you will definitely notice a difference in the loot. The loot's been kind of crappy lately. It will be more like it was when you ran it like in current. Some Covenant changes. One cool change for Night Fae is that all the seats for your conservatory, they stack to 200 now. It has been 20 this whole time. So that is nice. For Kyrian, the Path of Ascension got some changes that I'm sure a lot of people like. One of the biggest ones that I was pretty hyped for is that there is no longer a cost to enter the Path of Ascension. Medallions of service are now only used in crafting. So that is very cool. Considering my Kyrian is an alt, I kind of hated that cost money or cost currency. It would be different if it was my main, because then I'm playing a lot of that character. But yeah, so that's a cool change. Baseline 20% buff progressive power have been activated for all the soulbinds in Path of Ascension. The buff is active by default, but it can be turned off in the arena. Drop rates for all the Path of Ascension crafting components have been increased by 10%. Soulmere shards have a chance to drop from the Maw-sworn Kyrian and the Maw. For the Venthyr, the players can now use their influence with the guests to help their friends in alternate characters. Once you've completed the best friend quest for a guest, the guest will offer a quest inside your Ember Court scenario to all other players who visit. These friend of a friend quests unlock a permanent 30% increase to friendship gains with that guest. So invite a player or two to your next Ember Court and start the introductions to help them make friends faster. Alternate characters on your account will also be offered these quests inside their own Ember Court scenario. Temel now sells a new favor item, the Party Herald's Party Hat. This bind on account item can be sent to alternate characters and permanently increases rep gains with the Ember Court by 30% for any character that uses it. This item also gives Temel a new, fancier party hat and gives you an option to ask Temel to put the hat on you inside the scenario. As far as Necro didn't get any Covenant type changes, so yeah, you guys are left out of the equation here. But those are the ones for Kyrian, Venthyr, and Night Fae. As far as the Anima Conductor, you saw me upgrade it in this video. I don't know if I'm putting that in the beginning or the end, so at some point you'll see that in this video. There's 2 big reasons for this. So the first big reason is you want it fully upgraded so that you can start getting grateful offerings from your Covenant callings. And that number is based off of your highest level of Anima Conductor. So no matter what, you'll get those, but the number depends on your ranking. The other cool thing that's going on with the Anima Conductor is that all the locations can be channeled now. So it used to be like 1 per day that you could channel. So that's cool. I was wondering when they would do that, because I have channeled enough times that I've had like 4 channeled at the same time, because I'd be playing consistently, right? So every time it like would go off, I would just instantly start channeling. And so I have noticed that the way it has worked lately is like through the whole week. If you're active with it, you can have like 3 or 4 areas that you can go to pretty consistently. But to be able to do that every day, that's nice. I feel like that's a little too late though as well. Like I've collected a lot of grateful offerings now. I feel like that could have come a little sooner, honestly. But better late than never. And also the Lightforged Draenei Paladin, they're getting a new class mount. So it's going to be the Lightforged Ruinstrider. The dungeon quests for unlocking Culturan humans, Mecha-gnomes, and Dark Iron Dwarves, you don't need to do that anymore. So after accepting the dungeon quest, you can just speak to the NPC again and choose to skip it. Another thing to mention, and I have mentioned this a couple of times in WoW Weeklies, but the Mecha-done achievement has some changes right here on screen are what's going to be changed with it. Another thing is the Hunter's Binding Shop got nerfed for patch 9.1.5. So it will be removing the root effect when the mob takes too much damage. There has also been a warning going out for people who are swapping covenants and have missions in their board. So keep in mind that any missions you have going on will be cancelled when you leave that covenant. Your anima is not returned, so you will lose whatever anima you do use to start those missions. So definitely make sure you just wait till they are done. The other thing I wanted to mention is that there's some new scouting map toys in this patch. So they are going to be for all expansions. Here's a list of all of them. And they will cost 10,000 gold a piece. They're sold at your heirloom vendors. So that would be a Crom for Alliance and Estelle for Horde. Last week in WoW Weekly, I had mentioned that there is a one-time free battle tag name change going on. This is the deadline for it. So if you want to change your battle tag name, you have until November 5th. So this is the last week for it. And once again, like I said in the last WoW Weekly, I do want to warn you guys that you will more than likely lose your 4-digit number if you do a name change. So if that matters to you, don't do it. And if you don't care, then go on with your business. So this is the new store mount. And she is a cutie. I didn't realize how much detail she actually has until I got her. And she is adorable. I really like her little head necklace. I don't know what you call those things, the necklaces on your head. Like, I have no idea. But I call it a head necklace. And it looks so cute. It's silver with like green, and I love her glowy green eyes. And the saddle looks pretty cool on her. And she actually has like cat icons all over the place. I thought that was adorable. That was so cute. And she kind of reminds me of one of my cats. I have 2 cats, but the one that she reminds me of is, well, we call her a fox, right? Because she has the longest tail I've ever seen on a cat. And this cat so reminds me of her. The only difference is mine is a gray cat. But yeah, that tail is super long. Her whiskers are so long, and she just has so much detail. I love this mount. I know it gets a lot of hate right now. You know, store mounts always get hate, so it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's bad content, good content, low amount of content. The store mount was always gonna get hate. You know, it really doesn't matter. Everything else is just an excuse to hate on it. But I think she's super adorable. So this mount is available to purchase, and as you can see, she flies. The next piece of news we have is BlizzCon. So Blizzconline 2022 has been canceled. I totally saw this coming. You know, like, so much has been going on. Like, between COVID and, well, COVID's calmed down, I feel like, but still, it's still kind of glooming over things. And then this lawsuit, like, I think more the lawsuit than anything. As soon as I realized how much shit was going on in the lawsuit, we had, like, every week shit was going on for a while there, right? And I think they're just, they got too much on their hands right now. Like, you know, there's, it's no surprise that they would cancel it. An event like that takes a lot of people dedicated. There's been jobs lost and they're rehiring, and yeah, it just makes complete sense that they wouldn't have the manpower to be able to put on BlizzConline, even with it being an online thing rather than an in-person thing. Okay, so that basically covers the retail news I have for you guys. I've got a couple of pieces for you classic players. So, a Season of Mastery will be launching on November 16th. They are going to be doing a name reservation for this, so that will occur on November 11th if you want to try your best to get your name. The launch on the 16th will be at 3 p.m. PST. As for the name reservation, I don't have a time for that. I just have a date. They haven't really released a time, but I would just, you know, if you're really wanting that name, make it a day. You know, like, make sure you're sitting at your computer and just be prepared. And something interesting that I wanted to add is there's been some testing with the rogues over on these Season of Mastery betas. So the debuff is called Thief, and it's basically to stop the rogue bots, or at least try to. After some testing, it does appear that after between 9 to 11 pickpockets, you will get the buff, or you will get the debuff. And what happens is when you have the debuff, every time you pickpocket, you will get pocket lint instead, which only vendors for a copper. Dying will remove the thief debuff, and it's like a 3-minute run back to BRD. So basically, overall, it seems like you'd make around 20 silver every 5 minutes, dealing with your pickpocketing and your debuff that you'll get, and then running back in Ghost to get back to your corpse. So that calls it on this week's WoW Weekly with Myst. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have fun in the new patch. Thanks everyone for watching. An extra big thanks to the members of the channel. And we will see you in the next video. Bye guys.